After the Spurs drafted Dylan Harper with the second overall pick in this year's NBA draft, along with them having a rising star in Stephon Castle and De'Aaron Fox, who's been an established guard in the league for many years now, it seems like they don't really have room for another point guard in Chris Paul, and he may just sign elsewhere. What is up, y'all, and welcome back to another video. And today we're obviously going to be talking about Chris Paul and where he might sign this coming offseason. As signings and trades are starting to heat up now, it is only a matter of time before Chris Paul actually goes and signs somewhere. But yeah, before we get into everything, make sure you guys like the video and subscribe like I always say. It helps me out so much. I really appreciate all the love in the last few videos. They've all been 1 out of 10s on my YouTube studio, so I appreciate you guys for that one. And now let's get into the video. And it started out with a tweet from NBA Central saying Chris Paul is reportedly determined to play closer to home in Los Angeles next season, and this is per the Stein line. The whole quote goes, Chris Paul would be another Mavericks target at $5.7 million. But there is growing belief that Paul, after starting all 82 games last season in San Antonio as a 39-year-old newcomer to the Spurs, is determined to play closer to his home base in Los Angeles if he indeed comes back for a 21st season. And honestly, you can't blame him. He's played 20 seasons in the NBA. He's probably had a lot of wear and tear in his body, and he wants to play closer to home. He wants to, play his last year or 2 years in a city where he's familiar with and where he might retire and spend the rest of his life in. He also got a wife and kids, so he probably wants to get them ready for his retirement, and he wants to be somewhere where he can be more available for them. And LA would probably be the perfect spot for him. But we get another tweet from NBA Central saying the Clippers and the Suns are reportedly considering a reunion with Chris Paul, per the Stein line. The quote reads, the Los Angeles Clippers, in addition to the Phoenix Suns, are another of Paul's former teams that is said to be weighing a second engagement with the 12-time NBA All-Star who turned 40 in May. Paul's family stayed in Los Angeles this season while dad played in South Texas. So, his whole family's in LA. It makes sense, right? He wants to go back to his family and play his last few years in LA. It makes all sense. I mean, you can't blame him at all. This guy has done so much for the game. He's had a long, very successful career, and for him to end off in a city where his family lives in and a team he's familiar with, or, a city he's familiar with, because if he wants to go to the Lakers, that's also a new team for him. But you get the point. If he wants to end his career in LA, you can't blame him. And the tweet also said how the Suns are interested in reuniting with Chris Paul, so that wouldn't be in LA, but that's like a 1 to 2 hour flight away from LA, a little bit closer than it is in Texas, and it's probably this, I think it's the same time. It might be a 1 hour difference for the time zone situation there, but it's not too far away from LA. But if you ask me, I feel like he should go to the Clippers or the Lakers instead, because those teams are both in position to win a championship right now. And I think Chris Paul is just trying to get that one ring to help, solidify his legacy. That's the one thing you can really knock him on, is not being able to win when it matters the most. And if he goes to the Clippers, leads that second unit behind Harden and basically just does a really good job playing a solid 20 minutes or so, or the Lakers, play behind Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves and, wins a championship with either of those teams, that could basically solidify his legacy. Obviously, he wouldn't be doing it as one of the best players on the team, but he could still play a really important role. It could be kind of like a Jason Kidd scenario, but, in my opinion, Chris Paul is better than Jason Kidd. But yeah, it does remind me of that Jason Kidd scenario when he played in the Mavericks, was like a big part of their team, but wasn't like the star he used to be. I feel like Chris Paul could do that for either the Lakers or the Clippers. And I feel like, he's still a really good player. He still is a very smart player. And, just his IQ and passing and just his presence there on the court or even in practice could help out the team a lot. And it makes sense because a lot of teams are actually trying to get him this offseason for that 5.7 mid-level, because obviously we saw the Mavericks in the earlier tweet saying that they wanted him. And we also have this tweet from NBA Central saying how the Hornets are also very interested in him, but they're pulling out of the sweepstakes because he mentioned how he wants to play in the West Coast. So, there's a lot of teams that could use Chris Paul, and there's a lot of teams that want Chris Paul. That just shows his value right now. Even at 40, it's crazy how important he is to a team, even at this age of 40. But yeah, if you ask me, I feel like the best scenario for him would be the Lakers or the Clippers, not only because he's going to be close to home, but he's going to be on a team or a city that he's familiar with, and he's going to feel more comfortable. It's going to be better for his mental health as well, and I just feel like the Clippers or the Lakers would be cool. But if you really ask me, I think the Clippers would be the best. It's a full circle moment. If he can somehow, if the Clippers can somehow pull out together a championship for one last dance with Kawhi Leonard, Harden, and Chris Paul, that would be amazing. That would be cinema. But yeah, I want you guys down below to let me know in the comments what you guys think about Chris Paul's situation here. Let me know where you guys think Chris Paul might end up being. I just said multiple times how I think he could go to the Clippers, the Lakers, or the Suns, but I feel like my favorite team out of those three would be the Clippers. But yeah, you guys down below, let me know what you guys think about that. I mean, Chris Paul is a great player, one of my favorite players, to be honest. You can't hate him. Even as a Warriors fan, he's been a big rival for them for the last 10 or so years, 15 years. Throughout the earlier days, to be honest, with the Clippers-Warriors rivalry and the Clippers-Rockets rivalry, he has been someone I didn't like, but now, as he's grown to be older and grown to be more experienced, I started to respect him more, and I think he's one of my favorite players now. But yeah, let me know down below what you guys think about that. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe, like I always say. It helps me out so much. And yeah, y'all, we out.